If you want soil that stays dark, rich and alive with energy, you don't need to look to store-bought fertilizers or chemical boosters. The real secret is already living beneath your feet. Earthworms are the hidden workforce of every great garden, tirelessly improving the ground day and night. When you understand how to attract more of them, your garden quickly transforms into a lush, productive space where plants thrive with less effort. These creatures aren't just helpful, they are essential. By giving them the right food and environment, you can create a natural cycle of fertility that keeps your garden flourishing year after year. Every tunnel an earthworm digs is a channel for water and air to reach plant roots. This constant aeration makes the soil lighter, less compacted, and far easier for roots to grow strong and deep. But their magic doesn't stop there. Worm castings, often called black gold, are packed with nutrients more balanced than any fertilizer you could buy. They release nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and trace minerals steadily into the soil, feeding plants at the perfect pace. In short, when you have worms, you have healthier roots, stronger stems, greener leaves, and bigger harvests. Without them, soil quickly loses its life, becoming dense, dry, and difficult for plants to thrive in. Attracting earthworms starts with feeding them what they love. Soft kitchen scraps are the perfect beginning, especially leafy greens like lettuce, spinach, and cabbage. Fruit peels, particularly banana peels and apple cores, are favourites too. Worms are drawn to coffee grounds and tea bags, which not only provide nutrients but also improve soil texture. Crushed eggshells supply a steady source of calcium, essential for both worms and plants. To balance these nitrogen-rich scraps, shredded cardboard or newspaper should always be added. These carbon sources keep decomposition steady, prevent odour, and provide the fibre worms need to thrive. But not everything belongs in the soil. Avoid burying meat, fish, dairy, or oily foods as they attract pests and create unpleasant smells. Onions and citrus peels are also too acidic for worms, and it's better to leave those for the compost pile. When you choose the right foods, you are essentially creating a balanced worm diet, ensuring they multiply and continue enriching your garden bed. One of the most effective methods to feed worms directly in your garden is by setting up worm pits. These are easy to make and honestly require no special equipment at all. All you need is a spade and your kitchen scraps. Just dig a hole about 25 centimeters deep in between your plants. Then place a layer of kitchen scraps about 10 centimeters thick at the bottom. Next, add a thin cover of shredded cardboard or newspaper and then fill the hole back up with soil. Firm the soil slightly with your foot to lock in moisture and help keep pests away. This dark, moist space becomes the perfect dining hall for worms, and as they gather, they begin working for you. To really maximize the benefits, try rotating your pit location each week. Over time, the nutrients spread across the entire garden bed, creating even soil fertility. It's a low-cost, no-fuss technique that ensures your garden soil improves season after season. Once buried, the scraps start to break down with the help of bacteria and fungi. Worms quickly detect this food source and move in. As they eat, the organic matter is broken down inside their bodies and transformed into nutrient-rich castings. This natural fertilizer is spread throughout the soil as the worms move, turning waste into a powerhouse of nutrition. Their constant tunneling creates pathways for roots to grow deeper and for water to reach every part of the bed. Within weeks, the buried scraps disappear, replaced by loose, crumbly soil, alive with worms and beneficial microbes. What you are really doing is recycling right in the ground, creating a living system that sustains itself with very little extra effort. The easiest way to know your garden is improving is to dig into the soil where you buried scraps. If you see worms wriggling through the soil, you're on the right track. Over time, the soil itself will change colour and texture. It becomes darker, lighter to the touch, and crumbly, a sign gardeners call good tilth. This structure holds water more effectively, meaning you'll notice less runoff and more even moisture. Plants start showing stronger growth with deep green leaves, sturdier stems and more vibrant flowers. Yields become larger and the crops look healthier. Another wonderful sign is the presence of more beneficial insects. Bees, ladybirds and pollinators are naturally drawn to gardens full of life. Together, worms and insects create a balanced ecosystem that requires fewer interventions from you. When you see this harmony unfolding, you'll know your garden is truly alive. Consistency is the key to keeping your worm population strong. Make it a routine to bury kitchen scraps once or twice a week. This steady supply of food encourages worms to stay close and multiply. Moisture is equally important. You see, earthworms breathe through their skin, so if the soil gets too dry, it can actually force them to retreat deeper, or in some cases even harm them. After setting up a worm pit, it's a good idea to water the garden lightly, using about 2 litres of water per square metre of soil. This keeps conditions nice and moist without drowning the scraps. During dry or hot weather, mulching your beds with straw compost or leaves really helps lock in moisture, keeps the soil cool, and protects worms from extreme conditions. And as mulch breaks down, it provides yet another slow-release food source for worms near the surface. Cardboard and shredded paper are valuable additions to garden beds as well. They not only help balance nitrogen, but they also prevent scraps from breaking down too quickly. When you combine these with regular feeding and consistent moisture, these practices create the ideal habitat for worms to thrive all year long. Attracting and feeding earthworms is not just a gardening trick. It's actually a long-term investment in the health of your soil. By making simple changes, such as burying the right scraps and setting up worm pits, you are, in a way, building a self-sustaining ecosystem where plants naturally receive what they need. This reduces the reliance on chemicals, saves money, and honestly makes gardening more enjoyable. More importantly, it transforms your garden into a vibrant space filled with life, where every root, leaf and flower benefits from the silent work of worms. If you're ready to take your gardening to the next level, start feeding your soil today. With just a few scraps and a little consistency, you'll watch your garden flourish from the ground up. Don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Crops Haven and share this guide with fellow gardeners. Together, let's build gardens that thrive naturally and stand the test of time.